Hey y'all. I know you are seeing 8 million videos of me in this shirt, and that's because I have filmed 8 million videos in one day. Well, really is just the intro to a couple of videos in one day because I already filmed those videos. I just didn't film an intro. So I figured why not knock it all out at one time, okay? So don't judge, okay? Don't judge. Y'all know this is judge-free zone, okay? But anyway, in this video, I'm gonna show y'all me putting together the terrarium, and it's pretty fun. This is my first time doing a terrarium. I am not at all a professional. I'm not at all like, claiming to know all things terrarium. This is literally my first. I did watch a few videos. One in particular I think was the most knowledgeable, and so I will link that down below. The whole channel, I believe, is dedicated towards terrariums, so I feel like that's going to be the place to go if you're looking for concrete information. Definitely check that channel out. I will link it down below. But I did kind of take all of the things that I had learned from various videos or articles or the things that I kind of like researched, and I chose like materials and things that worked for me personally, okay? So please, before we get into it, if you're gonna imitate anything that I do in this video, do so at your own risk, because your girl does not know what she's doing. I definitely just wanted to utilize what I had on hand to minimize the amount of things I had to buy for this project. So a lot of what I'm using are things I had on hand. So kind of do your own research, see if any of the things that you already have would be utilized well in a terrarium. I don't know. Anyway, information will be down below. I suggest you watch that. Anyway, the point is, this video is genuinely just for entertainment purposes only. It's just to bring you along with me on this little project, not necessarily me giving you advice. So just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. So with all of the disclaimers out of the way, make sure you're subscribed and join the family. We'd love to have you. Thank y'all so much for the support and for the fun conversations that we've been having in the comments, and for the really knowledgeable things that y'all have taught me in the comments, because I really appreciate them. And yeah, so let's just jump into the terrarium setup. Okay, y'all, so here is the tank that we're going to be using, and this used to be a fish tank, so I know that it is airtight or watertight, I guess you should say. Like it doesn't leak, okay? The first thing we're going to do is our drainage layer, and I'm going to use leca for that, and then I'm also going to use horticultural charcoal in order to help prevent like mold and things like that. Now it might be echoey in here because I am in like a hallway, but I'm gonna try to cut out super loud noises. But if you need to turn your like sound down or whatever, here's your pre-warning, you might want to do that. But we're gonna start with our leca layer. The next step is adding horticultural charcoal. I will link the kind that I have below. I got mine off of Amazon. Like I said, buy at your own risk, use at your own risk, do your own research, pick what you want to use. But this is what I got. And this is what that looks like. And look at that. On the back of the bag, build your own terrarium. So helpful. Rawr. Okay, next step. Okay, so we have our drainage layer slash like filter, I guess, with the charcoal and the leca. I'm gonna get some netting, just like screen netting, and I'm gonna try my best to use whatever I have left to make a liner on this layer so that the dirt doesn't mix with everything. Does that make sense? Hold on, I'll show you. Okay, so see, just screen netting, and I'm just gonna cut it to line this layer so that the dirt doesn't mix and commingle. I don't think that's like a requirement. I don't think anything terrible would happen if they do commingle, but this is what I've decided to do, so that's what I'm gonna do. So now the bottom is covered with netting, as you can see. Doesn't need to be perfect. Honestly, I don't even think this is a required step. So if it doesn't lay perfectly across, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But now we get to fill it with our substrate. So when it comes to your substrate, you can do your research and find a mix that you think makes the most sense. What I am gonna mix is what I feel makes the most sense, while also using mostly what I have on hand. I did buy this cocoa core, but everything else that I'm about to use, I had on hand. So yeah, do your own research, but also do what you feel makes the most sense, okay? What we're gonna be mixing is some loose coconut fiber. We are also going to be using lechuza pon. I'm going to use a little bit of some sphagnum moss. I'm just gonna kind of shred it up. I'm also going to be using fluval stratum. And then just to include some nutrients and some like healthy bacteria, mycorrhizae, all that, I'm gonna be sprinkling in recharge. I'm gonna mix everything in this bucket and I'm gonna treat it like when you season food, you just kind of add it in until it seems right. I am then adding however many scoops I feel of lechuza pon. I'm gonna add some more pon. Some stratum. And I'm just gonna kind of rip up some sphagnum moss. This is pre-moistened. And I also pre-moisten all of my sphagnum moss in a mixture of CalMag, Grow Big, and kelp. So it's got some good stuff in it too. Okay, so this is what the substrate is looking like. It's still dry. I haven't moistened it. So it's looking pretty good. A lot of people recommend adding worm castings to your terrarium, but I don't have any and I couldn't find any locally. So I'm gonna use this recharge. This is like the healthy bacteria. It's got all of those like mycorrhizae and kelp and molasses and fluvic acids, just a whole bunch of stuff that's super healthy for the soil. So I'm gonna sprinkle a generous amount of this. The good thing about this is you can't overdo it. It won't burn your plants or anything like that. So if you put too much, it just will kind of get wasted. Like the plants will take as much as they can and then the rest just will sit. So I'm not worried about overdoing it with this, but I am gonna sprinkle some of this on top and kind of just mix it into the top layer so that when I water, it will kind of soak down into all of the dirt. Okay, so this is all I'm doing for the setup. The tops to this are gone, so I need to buy new tops, and then I'll set up the lights, and then we'll put plants in it. We have a few plants that we're gonna be putting in here to start with. Then I have a couple more that will be coming that I plan to put in here as well. So for now, we have, I don't even know what that is. I can't remember. The husband picked this one out though. It's really cool. We got this at the nursery. I have this begonia that needs all kinds of help because it's like rotting in the stratum. So I'm gonna stick this in the terrarium. And then we have these, which are Asian violets. So these are really pretty. My husband picked these ones out as well. And look at these blooms, they're just so pretty. But the leaves are also really cool on this. They're like fuzzy and I don't know, they're kind of stripy. They just look really cool. We have this other begonia. I can't remember the name of it, but this is the other like mystery plant or whatever that I got from Botanicas. And this one's cool because in person, it's a little bit burgundy. But on the camera, it's coming across as a really dark green, almost black, and it almost has like a blue sheen to it, which I don't see in person. Yeah, that must be happening because the light is shining on it. That's crazy, but it looks really good. We also got a Cissus discolor. I don't know if that's how you say it, but I just love these. I've always loved these. Like the pattern and the depth of color, it just looks so good. So I'm gonna have that in here. I'm gonna throw my little complex mag baby in here and just see what happens. The new growth keeps getting caught. As you can see, there's been 2 leaves now that just gets like caught in itself and then it like aborts itself. It's really weird. I didn't have that issue before when this leaf was coming out. But for some reason, these last 2 leaves just have not been happy. So I'm gonna try to put it in this terrarium environment and see if that helps it. I also have 2 of these like strawberry ice galaxy, whatever they're called, syngoniums. So I'm gonna throw one in here and see what happens. And finally, we have this little bambino, I think it is, like an alocasia. Yeah, an alocasia bambino, little arrowhead plant. Hubs liked how it looked. I thought they were really cute, so we're gonna throw that in there. For now, these are the plants we're gonna start out with. But like I said, I do have a couple more plants that are gonna come in that I plan to throw in here too. I just want it like full. I want them to have enough space to grow, so I'm not gonna throw too much more in here, but I do kind of want it to be full. So we will see. Okay, so here we have it. Everything is planted so far. I just need to get the lids and the lights set up and we're good. Okay, you guys, so here is the setup. I have the lights affixed to the lid and I just honestly have fans sitting on top for now because I haven't figured out how I want to officially attach the fans. So for now, they're just kind of sitting on the top, but it needed airflow, so we're just gonna pretend that doesn't look like that. But here is the final setup, at least for now. We added a Branditianum, we added a Varicosum narrow, and we added the Piper, I can't remember the name of it, but other than that, everything else is the same that we had in here before. Eventually, I might add moss to this back wall so that things like this could climb it. But I gotta do some research to figure out how I want to attach it. So that's gonna be a project for a later date, but here we go. Everything has been super happy so far. It's been a few weeks since we put the original plants in, and like some of them have rebloomed and pushed some new leaves. Like that's a new leaf and that's a new leaf. Bambino thing is starting to get kind of big. So yeah, I think everything is pretty happy in here. But that is the setup. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all.